What's up, man?
Hey man, what's happening?
Not much. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Yeah, we had a little technical difficulties over here for about 3 minutes.
Nah, yeah, it's all right. It's all right.
Cool, man. I appreciate you joining us. Got a bunch of guys on here and ladies out there. For everybody who doesn't know, it's Anthony Alford, Major League Baseball player for the Toronto Blue Jays, outfielder. We've got a couple questions that we're going to ask you today, and really appreciate you being here with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Well, for those of you who don't know, Anthony was a third-round pick with Toronto, but he also two-sport star throughout high school. Ended up playing at Southern Miss and then Ole Miss for a couple of years. And I got to tell you, man, senior year high school numbers are pretty incredible. 2,058 yards passing, 20 passing touchdowns, 1,700 yards rushing, 24 rushing touchdowns. The only question, I guess the first question I have is, did you let anybody else play on offense?
I mean, yeah, they did. Most of the game, half of the games, I probably only played the first half. So
That's incredible.
yeah,
So you guys must have been pretty decent, right?
yeah, we was pretty good. My senior year, man, we went to state championship.
Wow.
We actually made history. That was the first year my high school has ever won a playoff game. Like, got past the first playoffs, and we went to the state championship. So it was pretty good.
Yeah, that's incredible. You also were part of that Army All-American Bowl game, right?
Yeah, I was. That was pretty interesting as well. It was pretty fun. Nice.
Where was that played at?
San Antonio in the Alamo Dome.
Nice. Very
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, we've got a bunch of the dual sport athletes here with us as well, and the amazing part about numbers. I mean, even your baseball numbers, moving more on the baseball side of things. I mean, 483 senior year, a couple home runs, 14 stolen base. Obviously, fast guy. Played quarterback too, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, quarterback and then some defensive back, I think, over at Ole Miss.
Yeah.
And but in number 2 ranked high school player baseball wise in Mississippi, 82nd overall nationally your senior year. Obviously preseason All-American, WWBA championship winner with I think in Marucci Elite, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a pretty incredible team.
I did. Yeah, I didn't play much. I didn't play much summer ball because I spent most of the time in the summer getting ready for football. So I
Right.
was like going to do a tournament here, tournament there.
Right.
Like most of the stuff that I've done in baseball was just pretty much strictly off of high school.
So saying that, I mean, obviously you had a tremendous high school career in both. How'd you manage your time between football and baseball?
It was tough, man. It was looking back, I mean, I don't see how I did that, like put my body through that. But like I think if you really enjoy something like enough, you really find a way. But I know for me, like during football season, I was strictly focusing on football. Baseball season, I was strictly focused on baseball. But at the end of football season, well, during that basketball period, but like sometimes at the end of football season, I would go in early in the morning and hit in the cage before school even started. Like this was still during football season, so I would like wake up 5 o'clock, go hit in the cage, work out. I mean, 'cause like baseball, you can't just pick it up and put it down whenever you like it. It's something you got to kind of do year round. So I didn't want to be too far behind by the time I got to baseball season. So when football season started winding down, I would just like wake up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, go to the school, hit in the cage. Sometime by myself, sometime with other people. Then shower, then go to class, and then go to football practice. In the spring, it was just strictly baseball, and I didn't really do much of football. But in the summertime, it was more like football for me for strength and conditioning.
Right. So, for our two sport athletes and guys that are struggling, kind of trying to figure out how to get through it all and do the football or basketball and baseball, what advice do you have for those guys, those athletes that are doing it?
I mean, the only advice I can honestly give is like really just enjoy it. Because I feel like a lot of high school kids can get to where they put way too much pressure on themselves. So I would definitely say like enjoy the moment, like enjoy playing all sports, enjoy playing football, basketball, because at some point they're gonna tell you can't do something. Like you get to college, you're not gonna be able to play all three, so you might as well like
Right.
take advantage of that in high school. I didn't play, like I stopped playing basketball in high school after my freshman year I didn't start back playing until my senior year. Because I knew my main. I'm 6'1". I'm not about to be playing the NBA. Like my ball
Right.
handling skills not good enough to be a point guard. So I really just played my senior year just to like have fun, you know. And that like
Right.
and looking back, I wish I played all throughout high school, but I would just really say like enjoy the moment. Like when you're in football season, like lock it in, focus on winning football games or doing whatever you got to do. When you're in baseball season, work on perfecting your craft. But like baseball, like I said, it's totally different. Like you might need to find some time, like even if it's once or twice a week to go get in the cage, maybe after football practice, early in the morning before school, if you have access to a facility.
Right. So you were a third round pick in 2012 by Toronto, but you also had a college scholarship. Is that correct with that? To some.
Yes, I did. Yes, I signed out of high school to go.
Yeah. Sorry, you,
Um,
you cut out there for a second.
okay.
So and
What
they
was the
allowed
question?
you to do both, right? No. So the question
Yeah.
was, you were a
So
third round pick. Yeah.
yeah, they my so when I was coming out of high school, my senior, I pretty much told all the scouts that look, I don't want to go play professional baseball. I want to go play college football and baseball for 3 years and figure out what I want to do. Um, like I was pretty much turning down every team that came my way. Like even though I was projected to go in the first round, I was turning down a lot of money. And so I enrolled at Southern Miss because it's close to home and it was gonna be
Hmm.
easy for me to do football and baseball because of the relationships I had with the coaches. Um, so I was in summer school and the draft came around and then teams started calling like, hey, you sure you don't want to get drafted? You sure you don't want to get drafted? But it was calling my agent. And I was like, I was committed to just like going to college and playing both sports.
Right.
Kind of like what Jameis Winston did. Like I was committed to going to college. Um, and so Toronto, they came and they offered me a deal that like that was pretty interesting. Like I was going to get the opportunity to play college football, but at the same time, a bit of money and play baseball as well at the professional level. So
Right.
I feel like that was a deal that I couldn't really turn down.
So after after 2 years of playing football, how hard is the decision to say, hey, you know what, I love football, but I'm just going to let that pass by, and I'm going to do this baseball thing full time. What was that decision like?
Oh man, it was tough. But I got married in 2004, like going into that football season. So like it wasn't just a decision. That it wasn't just about me. Like I had to look out for my family as well.
Right.
And you know how it is in Georgia, like in the South, just being how football is down here. So
Hmm.
um, that was tough for me to just get like that was my first love. Like football is like I grew up that I wanted to be an NFL player. So,
Right.
but I had to put things into perspective that like okay, what is going to be more beneficial to me in the long run, health wise, mentally and physically, and what's going to be more beneficial for my family. So,
Right.
and the longevity of baseball, obviously, like I said, and there was a time where like I was 19, I just turned 20, going into that fall. So, I mean, you know, baseball, you want to be young when you're in this, and especially coming up through the farm system. So,
Right.
I just felt like it was a time I had to make a decision. Um,
Right.
and baseball just seemed like the more reasonable decision at that time.
Yeah. How was the grind once you did it? So obviously playing two sports is tough enough. I mean, I can't even imagine playing a collegiate sport and trying to do pro baseball at the same time. I can't imagine that. But
Yeah.
once you made that decision, and then you had another 3 years. So you had 2 years in the minor leagues with football, and then
Mhm.
three before you made your debut in 2017.
Yeah.
How was that grind, and how did that change once you kind of gave up football?
Um, I feel like baseball started becoming easier, in a sense, because I got a chance to like kind of perfect my craft. And like I like so in 2015, I came and like I hit 300 after pretty much taking off 3 years of baseball
Right.
and between lower and high, and like and it was a confidence booster for me. Like guys, if I was just doing this full time, like I can be pretty good at this sport. I mean, obviously reality hit that following year, like because baseball is a game of ups and downs, but
Yeah.
Yeah, but like once I got a chance to do it full time, not only like offensively, but I feel like I was able to perfect my craft like in all phases of the game. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like it's tough to do that whenever you're splitting time between multiple sports.
right. Yeah, it's baseball to me. It always kind of seems like it's an everyday thing. You got to be doing it every day, all the time. You know, because
Hmm.
you're playing both offense and defense, and
Right.
those skills are technical, both sides. It is very tough, and I guess it'll probably be a relief for you once you quit playing football to say, "Hey, man, I've got more time to just concentrate and become a better baseball player."
Yeah, it definitely changed my perception on the game of baseball as well because I always like when I was playing football, I thought that was the hardest thing in the world going through fall camp, going through tour days. I was like, man, ain't nothing. But when you go through a minor league spring training, ain't nothing like a minor league spring training, man. Like that's way like I tell people, I said, man, it's way harder physically, like when you're going through the process to play baseball than it is to play football. Because in
Yes,
football, you play once a week, and then like the practices, like the football practice, is not even hard. Like you just like you not. It's not like you 5 or 4 days like preparing for a game. Like you're not really like full out tackling. You just really running through plays, and you
right,
really just have full contact once a week, and that's on game day. But
right.
in baseball, man, when you out there from 8 in the morning to about 4 in the evening, like in spikes and running from field to field around the complex, but that's tough. And like I
Yeah,
don't care what anybody says, that's tough.
yeah, and then you get hot soup for lunch, which is
Yeah,
perfect when it's 100 degrees.
you might get
You
yeah. Might get a peanut butter jelly sandwich or something. And then yeah,
know.
go back out there and play a 9 inning game.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. You got the spread killers you got to beat to the spread. It's fun.
Right. Them
That's
pitchers,
good.
man. Them pitchers. They be the first ones in line.
I know, man. That's why they're always not in shape. That's my
Yeah.
opinion. Just saying. So what are you doing? What are you doing differently now? To prepare yourself. Drill wise, hitting stuff off season. Now that you've kind of crested into the major leagues and broke in, and kind of bouncing the last 2 years back and forth. What are you doing differently? And now even this year, looking at an outfield in Toronto with a couple of those guys out there with you, like Grichuk and Gurriel and Hernandez. How are you trying to position yourself for this season and this year?
I mean, really, I'm preparing, like, because at the end of the day, like, yeah, I played for Toronto, but like, you got to realize, like, everybody don't stay with the same organization their whole career unless you like a Jeter. Like, it's very few people. So I can't get caught up in like who's all in the mix. Like, you gotta pretty much treat every time you step on the field, you treat it like a showcase in a sense. Like,
Right,
you yeah, I'm trying to help this team, this organization win games and win a championship. But at the same time, like I gotta perform for my family as well.
right,
That's kind of the mindset that you have to have. So like, and I know like with me, those guys like they can do a lot of good stuff, and I feel like I bring a lot of stuff to the table myself, like the speed and the ability to hit and play defense, and I it's a lot of stuff that I can do that they can't do as well.
right,
So
right.
and I not and I feel like other organizations see that as well.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
like yeah,
So, like,
you
yeah, yeah. No, sorry. No, kind of some of those things that you're doing to prepare yourself as far as making like swing changes and maybe physical changes, things to make you better, to make you more attractive, not only to Toronto or to the other clubs, but what is it that you kind of been working on, trying to be better at? Obviously, you're always trying to be better, but what are some things that you've been doing the last couple off seasons to get better?
main thing maintaining my explosiveness and like pretty much staying healthy. Like because I know if I stay healthy for a full season, that I'm gonna perform. Um, like that's the main key for me. Like obviously, you always gonna have things that you're gonna tweak with your swing, and there's gonna be keys that you try to maintain. Um, for me, it's more like a mental thing, like not putting pressure on myself.
Right,
Because I feel like whenever I start thinking too much mechanically, that's when my true athleticism doesn't come out.
right,
So but I feel like the main thing I really focus on is like my flexibility, my health, like last off season, not this past off season, but the off season before. Like that's why I came to Atlanta and trained at P3 because I felt like that was going to be beneficial, and that's when I
right,
was hitting the two guys complex. So
right.
uh, But yeah, I think the main thing, if I'm healthy, then I'm gonna perform. You know,
Right.
obviously you can have some ups and downs, but I mainly try to work on a mental approach more than anything. Like
Right.
how I'm gonna approach the game mentally, how I'm gonna approach every at bat mentally, um, and just really just like let my swing play out. I do my preparation, I do my drill work. Like some drills I like to do, me personally, is high tee because the game is changing. Um, and a lot of pitchers are starting to pitch up with that high spin rate fastball. So if you can get to that pitch, like you got to put your body in the right position to hit that pitch. You
Right.
know, like you can't collapse on your backside or you gotta be connected to the ground. You got to put your body in the right position. You got to make the right turns um, in order to get to that pitch. Now, I'm not saying you should be able to like master that pitch, but at least be able to get to it.
Right.
So like I like to do like a lot of hot tee and like a lot of tight turn drills, like drills that's gonna make me turn tight.
Right. So when you say turn tight, you're talking about keeping your hands inside the baseball, staying tight through that rotation,
Yeah,
driving
yeah,
through the ball, trying to think middle of the baseball field, that type of stuff.
right, right. So like one of my favorite drills, and I learned this one from Batista. So what I do, you have that inside pitch, like that pitch that's inside on the block. Like I
Right.
like to back that ball like way up, like
Deep in your
deep,
stance.
yeah, like deep in my stance,
Yeah.
and and what and I try to hit a line drive right back up the middle. It's
Right.
like that pitch where like somebody throw a two seam in on you,
Right.
and you kind of like end up fighting your body to try to get
Right.
to that pitch. Like no, I'm trying to like maintain my same swing
Right.
and hit that ball. You know what I'm saying? Like turn tight and hit that ball right back up the middle, because
Right.
that's going to be a difference between getting jammed and panicking in the middle of your swing and hitting a rollover to the shortstops.
Right.
Or yeah, I got beat, but I was still able to get enough barrel on and hit a single up the middle. So like
Right.
I like to feel that move. Like I like to repeat that same move over and over. You know.
So when you're taking your swing, I mean, there's a lot of different ideas out there. If you go to the Josh Donaldson brand of hitting or things like that, but do you believe in taking that top hand of the baseball, kind of straight line to it, and then letting everything happen, as you hit the ball and after through it?
Um. Yeah, I mean to a certain extent. Like I just feel like everybody's different, man. I think what I do think I think that like most good hitters have a lot in common, but the way they think, like some of them have to think being direct. Some guys have to think swing up, or some guys have to think swing down. But like when I think swing up, I'm literally gonna swing up. But if I
Right.
think swing down, like that's what's gonna put me on plane. So
Right.
it's really about how your brain kind of relays that message to your body. But I don't necessarily feel like there's one philosophy on hitting. That makes
Right.
sense.
Yeah, no, it's a great perspective on hitting because
Yeah.
I think you're right on with everybody's totally different. Everybody's body types are different. Everybody's natural swing plane is different.
Right.
It's a great perspective on it. And I always like to ask the question, especially with guys that have been up there in the big leagues and spent a lot of their career just, tweaking and fixing their swings for their personal self. I think it's a great perspective on the question.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll tell you this. For me, what is your best, like your best moment so far in the big leagues? Like something that, oh my gosh, or not even big leagues, just your baseball career. What's like the best moment?
Um, I would say it would definitely it would it would probably be my walk off, because it was
Was
my
it?
first ever home run in the big league.
Yeah.
So and then it was because I didn't even start that game. Like I came off the bench in the ninth inning as a
Right.
pinch run, and I ended
Right.
up getting three at bats. Like my first
Right.
at bat, I grounded out to the pitcher. My second at bat, I hit a ball to third base and beat it out. And
Right.
then my third at bat, I ended up hitting the walk off. Like that's probably my best moment, like because it was my first ever home run. There's
That
been a
was
lot of great moments, but like that was probably
right.
my best moment.
Oh yeah. I mean, what was it? It was 11th inning. Was it 11th inning?
No, 15th inning.
15th inning, 10 to 10 or something like that, or 11-11. It's
Yeah,
crazy,
yeah, yeah.
man. That's awesome. Well, the other question I got for you, because I love asking this question, is like, who's the player that like you most want to play with or against? Like if you had any guy that's out there playing now, not necessarily like Babe Ruth or whatever, but guys are playing now that you're like, wow, I kind of look up to that guy, and I'd love to play next to him or against him. Who is that guy?
Probably Mookie.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
good
love
one.
the way Mookie play, man.
Yeah,
He's probably my favorite player. I like to watch Mookie play. He's exciting.
he can do everything.
Yeah, he does, man. And he would definitely be the guy that I like to play against. And
Yeah,
no, I like to with or
yeah,
against. Yeah.
that's solid. He's a good one
I
to
played
watch.
against him, but I
I'll
played against him, but like he seemed like a pretty cool. He's from Tennessee, so he's a Southern guy. Like
right,
he seems country as well. So like
right.
I definitely like to play. Oh, I'll tell you another one. Tim Anderson. Like I feel like that'll be interesting, like to play with him as well. Like that's, but
Man,
probably overall probably Mookie.
yeah, they're both good. I mean, Tim Anderson
Yeah,
he could stick it, man. He
yeah,
can hit a little bit. That guy's a
yeah.
good player. All right, so the guy you want to play. What about the guy that's got your number on the mound or the nastiest pitcher you faced?
I mean, I feel like it's probably be a lot of guys that got my number. I think the nastiest pitches I face has I tell you, a guy who has my number. Do you know? I think it's Cortez for the Yankees.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. He's got your
He
number?
do a lot of this funky lefty. That do a lot of this funky stuff. Man, I feel it's like 89 miles an hour straight, but like I just struggle hitting him, bro. Like he like short arms. He do this like the strolling thing. He paws at the top of his leg kick.
Right.
Like it's like such a frustrating at bat because it's like, bro, like how is this dude like getting me out? You know what I'm saying? But
He,
he's a good pitcher though. Like
he's
that's a
throwing vapor balls.
yeah. Like his ball and it's like 89, but it plays up. Like I'm
Wow.
like, bro, I don't like this dude blew 89 mile an hour fastballs by me. It was like the most embarrassing moment in my career.
That's like, hey, Skip, put me in against whoever, Sale. I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't want to face him.
yeah,
That's funny.
yeah.
So how are you dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic, this crazy season?
Mm-hmm.
Like how are you dealing with all that with getting your body ready and staying ready mentally and all the good stuff?
I mean, really, man, I'm just treating it like an off season. I'm still like I work out. Obviously, like some of my workouts when I first came home, they was kind of modified,
Mm-hmm.
but still modified because I don't have all the equipment that I usually use. But
Right.
I mean, I still have access to a facility. I can go hit off the machine. My brother-in-law, who's also my teammate, Jonathan
Yeah.
Davis,
Right.
we hit together so we can throw each other BP. I can do everything as far as baseball wise. It's
Right.
just kind of tough as far as like strength and conditioning wise.
Right.
What all I can do, kind of limited on that. So, yeah, we I mean, we kind of just try to keep our distance and just go into the facility.
Yeah.
I guess
Now,
pretty much.
does the club send you any information, anything to follow, or they have guidelines that they want you to do, or
Yeah,
any Zoom calls, things like that?
from a strength and conditioning, like we still have our program. They give us our program that we work out. We lift and run 4 times a week. But as far as baseball wise, like everybody is on their own routine. But they'll follow up with us every week about what we're doing and how the progression is going. We stay in constant contact with our hitting coaches. Like they want to see video, like we'll send them some video of us hitting
Right.
one night, and they can kind of somewhat coach us from home. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. It's interesting. We're having to do the same thing here with all of our students getting online, trying to do virtual type lessons. It's
Yeah,
a little bit difficult,
yeah,
not there like normal because the baseball swing is so technical and
mm-hmm.
along with pitching. So it's been tough too over here. But
yeah.
well, listen, we're going to roll into this thing that we're calling the Raldis Chapman Fuego round. Okay.
Okay.
So a couple quick softball questions here. That
Okay.
you can knock out of the park, but we're going to roll it pretty quick. All right,
Okay.
very simple. All right, favorite park to play in?
Yankee Stadium.
Okay, pregame meal.
Nothing in particular, but I gotta have a Snicker bar.
Okay, Snicker bar. All right, are you Nike or three-stripe guy?
Nike.
Nike. All right. So if you're a Nike guy, Jordans or LeBrons?
Ooh, you had to do me like that.
That's what it is. It's the Fuego round, man.
Yeah, Jordan.
Jordan. Hey, man, there's a whole series on right now. We got to go Jordans right now.
Yeah, got you.
Best hitter in MLB, not yourself.
Trout.
Okay. TikTok or Instagram?
Instagram. TikTok is for the kids.
Any superstitions?
No.
No superstitions. Nothing. Not the same socks.
All right. Okay. If I go out there and I go 4 for 4 with like 2 doubles and a pump, like I'm probably gonna come in and do exactly the same thing. But other than that, like I'm not gonna like wear the same thing or anything like that. But if I have a good game, you better believe that next day I show up, I'm taking the same amount of swings. I'm doing the same thing I did the day before.
Yeah, eat the same cheeseburger, the same, the whole deal.
Hey, I tell you, I did have a phase in 2016 when I was in high. It was on my birthday in 2016. Batista was rehabbing with us, and I had Wendy's. I had a double cheeseburger meal from Wendy's with a fruit punch to drink. And bro, I tell you, I hit like 2 doubles and a home run. So from July 20th to the rest of the minor league season, every day I went to Wendy's, got a double cheeseburger, fries, and a fruit punch, and I raked.
That's awesome. That is such the grind meal right there. Just saying.
That is.
All right. PS4 or Xbox?
PS4.
Call of Duty or Fortnite?
Call of Duty.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Now we got to go down. Now we got to go down the rabbit hole of Call of Duty. Okay. Warzone. Favorite spot to land?
Okay. All right. I'm not a gamer like that, but I would prefer Call of Duty. You went deep. You went real deep.
I told you we're going the rabbit hole.
Yeah, I don't know. Now, only thing I really play is 2K. So, but if I was to choose between Call of Duty and Fortnite, it'd be Call of Duty.
All right, so
flying with an umbrella through the air.
I don't do that either. No, but all right. So you're a show guy. So if I said the show or Madden. Okay, so I see. All right, I get you.
Yeah.
Got to stick true to the football roots.
Yeah, got to. And and anybody who's on live, you want to challenge me, man, I take that. It's just too easy for me.
There it is. It's a challenge. I love it.
Too easy.
Well, listen, man, that's all we have on the Fuego round right there. Awesome answers. Great conversation today with you, Anthony. Before I let you go, I understand your wife's a country singer. Is this correct?
Yes, she is.
All right. So is it Elise? No. Now listen. If any of the information that I gave out today is wrong, it's not my fault. Okay.
It's
Rob's fault. Yeah, it's Rob and Eduardo's fault. That's it. So I take none of the blame. But so Elise, right?
Elsie.
Okay.
ELSIE.
SIE. See, I blame it on Eduardo. That's how it works. But
yeah.
So does she have a record out? Does she have an Instagram account?
She have an EP out. She have an EP out. She have a few singles out. It's on Apple Music. She have one on what is Spotify. I use Apple Music. It's Apple Music, Spotify. So you can just look up Elsie.
Okay. Fantastic.
Yeah, and she's working on the album right now. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So you guys living in Mississippi now? Is that where you guys are at?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, good. Well, Anthony, listen, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much for being a part of this. And by the way, this is our first live go, so you were the guinea pig. I'm trying my best, Bob Costas.
We just made history. Anytime you're the first at anything, that's history. So
that's it, man. So hey, thanks a lot again, and appreciate your time. And next time you're in town, I'd love to see you here.
Okay, sounds good, man. Thanks for having me.
Thanks. See ya. All right, guys. Thanks for being part of the first live session. We do have more on our lineup coming up. We got Will Benson from the Indians coming up next week. Matt Olson from the Athletics. Tyler Krieger with the Indians as well. Matt Skoll with the White Sox, and Chris Oakley lined up from the Reds over the next couple of weeks. So be looking out for us on the live, and thanks for joining us. Be good.